Pillow Talk episode 8. Man, that 7 was Dan Severn. Let me just lead off with that. You know what I'm saying?
To follow.
Today it's episode 8, and we are kicking it with the coaches, baby. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you having us on.
There's no question, man. Love the show.
Appreciate it.
I watch everyone. I'm tuned in next door. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate it.
For sure. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Coach, and tell the people who you are.
So I'm Coach K, Coach Kennedy, but the kids, we've adapted the Coach K nickname over the last several years. I coach at Erie Mason High School. First year back in the county, so excited just to be back here with y'all in Monroe and be working back with my man, Coach Jones, over here in some different capacities, whether it's camps or the podcast and whatnot. So just excited, man, to be back around. I had my first season there last year, going into year 2. We'll most definitely be back next season at Mason to continue building. Man, just coaching. That's what I do, man. I coach sports performance, coach kids that just need decision-making help, run free camps with the ALCC. Just coach all the time, bro.
Coach.
There's a saying that we go by, man. Always remember your ABCs. Always be coaching. So
shout out to Mason too, man. Those Golden Eagles.
I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the love. I appreciate it.
It's all love, man. I love kids that are in the sports, and you know that we need that. So we need more people like you guys. All right, Coach Jones, tell them who you are and what we're doing here.
Coach Jones. I currently coach at Annapolis High School in Dearborn. Previously, I was at Airport High School for 9 years. I was a head coach for JV boys, assistant coach for varsity.
Okay. My little guy goes to Airport.
Oh, does he? What grade is he?
Yep. He's just a little guy. He goes to kindergarten.
Okay. So he's coming up.
Yeah.
I always support the Jets. So like I said, I was there 9 years. I've done numerous camps. I've done travel teams in the area. I've done camps for the city. I've done them at the Opportunity Center. I just finished one at Level Up. I'll be coaching travel basketball at Level Up this summer, 17U team. We got tryouts for that coming up. I'm volunteered to coach my other son's 3rd and 4th grade team through Waterloo and Arborwood schools.
Nice.
So I've coached 7th grade football at Monroe.
Okay.
I've coached soccer at Triumph.
Coach. We're in the right room.
It's ABCs, man. It's nonstop. It's a grind, but I love it. You know, the reward isn't monetary. You know, it's a feeling. You know, and it's addiction, man. Like once you see a kid you develop, or just a kid you help, like he might not even got that much better at the sport per se, but so many life lessons that they can just carry out with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the feeling that
you're
always chasing.
Yeah.
You know? So people think it's money. Like, man, how do you got to love it. I'm like, chasing that feeling, man.
It's huge.
Changing lives.
That's huge. That's awesome. Shit, man. What do you got coming up? Tell me about like what's going on with you.
So yeah, man, actually just today, I just actually got done sharing it. We are teaming up with the Opportunity Center and the MCOP. So go down to the ALCC May 6th and 7th. We're going to do, this is actually our third annual, I believe. If not, it's our third one for sure. But free camp for the kids. So ages 7 to 12 and then 13 to 18. We're at 2 different age groups, but it's free, man. So the kids can come down to the Opportunity Center, work with Coach and I and a few other guys I'm getting lined up. And they, again, no cost to that. So that's pretty cool. Another thing we got going is we just teamed up with 1817 CrossFit. So shout out to them. I got to give them some love. Just teamed up with them. We're going to be doing every week some sports training in there. Again, cost affordable, super cost friendly. Kids can come in there once a week. They'll learn about sports, kind of how to move, basic functional movements, right? Mindset, all types of stuff, man. So we usually try to, feed the kids and do some different things along those lines. And then last thing, just to kind of share coming up, because I do hope we want to pack it that day. We got our Eagle Day out at the field for Erie Mason. Our kids are going to come out. They're going to lift. It's not a lift-a-thon, but they'll come in. They'll all kind of 1 rep max to test their winter progress, but they're going to do it in front of everybody because we got an Eagle board, man, brand new record board. And we're going to put their names up there by, whoever gets them accomplishments. And then they're going to go to the field and do field events too. So.
That's awesome.
But we got Spooky Films coming out. So shout out to him and the Monroe County Sports.
Baby.
Yep, they're all coming out. So
we just MCSN.
Yep, they'll be in the house. So shout out to Dev and them guys. We just want everybody to be in the community to support the kids that day. It's about building the brand, bro. So what we're trying to do is it's football. Almost coaching is about coaching, but it's also to a degree, it's like running a business, bro. Like we have to we got to build a brand for our kids, right? And we got to make it exciting to be there. So this is one way we're looking to do that.
No doubt, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And speaking of community, let me jump into these sponsors. Look, I know you know all these people. I know most of these viewers know a lot of these people, but these are our pillars. And the reason we call them that, I feel like these are the pillars of our community that keep us strong. So we got Jeff from the Little Brown Jug. We got Tino from Amaya's. We got Mikey and 8 Mile. We got Shane with Muggsy's in the Monroe Sports Center. We got Brandon with Lane's Pizzeria. Deb with Deb's Floral Designs and Event Specialists. And RPW Ruthless Pro Wrestling. And don't forget about IWR, which actually is tomorrow.
Yep.
Big time, baby. Tomorrow, IWR live at the House of Insanity, the FOP at 6 o'clock for VIP and 7 for general admission. So I know they still got some tickets left. Make sure to get those and come check us out at IWR.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to it, man. Make sure y'all go out there and come see us.
It's gonna be a good time, and
sounds like a good time.
Definitely.
We got to get Coach Jones at the IWR.
I'll be out there. I'm gonna get.
You gonna come out there? Okay.
I don't know about tomorrow.
Okay.
But the next one I might.
Man. You know what? We lucky enough to have a crazy good organization like IWR, owned by Rhino, owned by Gary Paulette. Shout out to those guys.
Definitely.
And really, I just really feel like we're real lucky. To have something in our own backyard that we can call ours, and we're spoiled, man.
Yeah,
and it's super cool. They're bringing in superstars from all over. Shout out to Trey Miguel. We'll actually have him in the studio live tomorrow for the Mint podcast. So awesome. Those of you that are of age and enjoy the cannabis selection, come on and check that out. But getting back to what we was talking about, what about you, Coach? Where we at with what you have going on?
Like I said, I got the level up tryouts. March 26th and April 2nd, age 17U.
Okay.
From 12 to 2 both days. Try to build a nice, decent team to come out of Monroe County. We're going to travel a little bit. We got a tournament in Indianapolis. We got one in Columbus.
Nice.
We got 2 at Cedar Point.
Okay.
And then we'll have 2 at home at the Level Up, some local fast tournaments. So bringing some teams to Monroe.
That's fun,
trying to get some AAU stuff going. I'm on a board for a nonprofit organization called Why Not? Youth needing organ and tissue transplant. They just want to raise awareness for organ and tissue, kids who might need it or maybe on the wait list, just kind of help keep their spirits up, help with anything they might need. So I'm on that board. It's actually my cousin who runs that, who started that. So I got some projects with him I'm trying to put together, maybe partner with Level Up or maybe some of these local gyms or something, do like a free camp, maybe a youth 3-on-3 tournament just to help raise awareness, man. His story's kind of, he was a good high school football player, had a scholarship. He was going to go to Eastern. They do the physical. During the physical, they kind of found some things, that wasn't right. Finds out his kiddies were failing. So, he got through all that. He was young athlete, right out of high school. So just trying to raise awareness to that, man. Kids eat a little healthier, be a little healthier.
Yeah,
definitely.
Aware of stuff like that. So
I'm
honored to sit on the board. He asked me to sit on the board with him and kind of help.
Why not, right?
Why not? Help him branch out of Michigan a little bit. He started in Columbus. He's now based out of Atlanta. So 11th year it might be, 10th or 11th year. So he's been going strong with that, man. So again, if I'm not coaching, I'm trying to do something with that, which to me kind of lines right up with coaching. So I can just kind of bring both of those worlds together.
That's good.
Definitely.
That's good. That's a real coach.
Impact, man.
That's it, man.
Impact.
That's it.
So tell me, did you grow up in Monroe?
I did not. So I grew up in Alabama.
Okay.
But I've been in Monroe since like 02, 03.
Okay.
About 20 years now. I've been.
You grew up in Alabama. Tell me about that.
Alabama, man. Country. Dirt roads.
No
street lights.
Yeah.
On a farm.
Right.
Grew up on a farm down in Alabama. So
how'd you end up in Monroe?
I got a lot of family in Toledo.
Okay.
So originally my grandfather retired. He moved from Toledo to Monroe. He was an old Southern guy. So after he retired, he didn't want the hustle and bustle of Toledo. Moved to Monroe. It was a little slower, a little quieter at the time. It's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So Monroe has grown since then, but
still, I get it.
Yeah. Still a little smaller. So
definitely.
Right out of high school, I went to the military. I was getting out the military. At that time, he was retiring, moving to Monroe. I'm like, not much going on in Alabama. It's kind of one of those places if you ain't got nothing lined up, or if you don't have some land or own a farm, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of hard to just go back and figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I came here, on a whim. I had like $7. I was 19. I went to the Navy when I was 17. So I was like 19, moved here, $7, man. I don't forget.
Man.
I had a
humble beginnings.
Eddie George jersey, white Eddie George.
Shout out to the Eddie George, though.
I knew you were like
Shout out to the Titans, man, and Eddie.
Like
That's the GOAT, man.
So, and then it was just, I got here, man. I was off to the races,
So how long did it take you to start coaching once you were here?
And
did you do any of that in Alabama?
I didn't. So I got into coaching. I mean, I played a lot of basketball, just around town. So you meet people.
Sure.
You cross paths with a lot of people. Met a guy named Jason Shaw. So shout out Jason Shaw. He was coaching at Triumph at the time. He was coaching like the girls team, 7th and 8th grade or something like that. So we just, we shoot him at. He's like, "Hey, why don't you come out and help me?" Went and helped, and just kind of took off from there. So the following year, I was the 5th and 6th grade boys coach. The year after that, turned into the 7th and 8th grade boys coach. So 5th through 8th.
So it kind of goes up, but you think it's more? There's more riding on it and stuff, right? I mean, for a kid, I don't mean it like as a kid,
for kids. So it was considered JV and varsity.
Well, how you look at it as a business, I'm guessing that there's a difference between 5th and 6th graders and coaching seniors or 10th graders.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
The basics are always going to be the same,
right?
But that's cool that you were able to
different approach,
climb the ladder that way, and you understand multiple levels of different kids' personalities and stuff. There's a lot there.
And that, at the time, you don't know that. I mean, I didn't sit down and say, I want to be a coach and this is what I want to accomplish. Like, I just started doing it and just, in a sense, just kind of winging it, just doing it out of just pure passion of wanting to do it. The more you do it, the more you kind of learn, the more you know. You see other coaches, you kind of pick up on other things,
right?
Kind of sharpen your skills a little bit, just like playing the game. You know what I mean? So you practice your game to be good at certain things. So it's the same with coaching. You got to practice different techniques. Take things from different coaches, even guys I coached against and lost to. I'm like, man, he was doing this one thing. I just we couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So why not try to implement something like that of your own?
In Annapolis, that's Inkster or Dearborn Heights?
That's Dearborn. It's right. It's right by Inkster.
I know it's all over there. In Annapolis Street divides the cities right there.
Yeah, and it's right there.
My son's grandparents grew up over there.
We played y'all in football at Romulus for
Romulus is in our league, so we play them twice a year.
Tough basketball school.
Real
tough to play.
Tough basketball school. We gave them a run at their place, though.
They've been good for a long time.
We gave them a run. They were sweating at halftime. They were sweating at halftime. They came out. They took control of them. They're deep. You know what I mean? So when
that school's got a rich history.
They got like
of
9-10 athletic guys.
How's
pure
Rouge?
Athletic.
How's Rouge looking?
We didn't play them, but Rouge is Rouge, man. Like they're
Rouge good at football and basketball.
They're never.
Always when I was
a kid,
I went to Rouge and shit.
Powerhouse in both sports. It's crazy because a lot of them kids play both sports too, so they're all pretty good, man.
They're so athletic, man.
Yeah, that's how it was back when I was a kid.
Big time. I coached against them a few times too.
They're big. Like I'm looking in layup lines when I first got to Annapolis because I came from airport to Annapolis, right? So
that's a big difference, right?
Right, you were from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
As far as athleticism go, like it's not a big athletic school at airport.
I do got to shout out the coaches over at Rouge though. They got some great human beings over there. I've coached against them guys with them, and then shout out to Coach Parker, who's at Toledo now, but he was the head coach. But honestly, man,
I'd like to see you get the Panthers.
They got great people in there, man. Yeah, man, that's something we might have to coaches at Rouge. If y'all tune in, let's get you on Kicking It with the coaches.
Tag one of the coaches at Rouge.
We need them guys in.
Plug us in.
Them are some good men, though. I'm telling you, good coaches, man. I respect them.
It's been a quality organization.
The program's been great.
Yeah,
for years.
I'm 40 years old and I'm still talking about Rouge.
Yep.
Ball,
man.
Because even when I lived there as a kid, and then always just kind of followed that stuff, and then I never played for him or anything. Well, I played a little bit of football in Lincoln Park.
Okay,
we wasn't no good, but Rouge, on the other hand,
everybody
that sounds about right.
That's how it was. Though,
yeah,
you know what I mean. So I've never forgot that was instilled in my brain.
That sounds about right.
Shout out to Lincoln Park too.
Yeah,
they needed some help back then. I don't know how it's looking now, but it's all love, man. It's just kids.
Definitely all love.
All love. What about you, Coach? You grew up in Monroe, or?
So yeah, man, I kind of grew up a little bit all over the area. I was in Bedford for a little while, Monroe. I primarily grew up in Erie, though. Once I kind of got settled down, I lived out at my grandma's house in Erie. Stayed with her through high school and played sports. Man, was super active in a bunch of different sports. Was always kind of like a book when it came to that. Like I know certain stats from different years and players on every team and. It was crazy because like I used to get made fun of for that stuff a little bit in high school. I used to get almost like a nerd, man. Like oh, you know, all these sports numbers and everything else. And it used to like really make people kind of judge you or make certain things difficult. Right. But I always loved it, man. I always had this super hard passion for sports. But when I got out of high school, I faced a hard reality that like I wasn't good enough to play them in college. Like it just wasn't, that wasn't cut out for me. And that reality brought me to like, damn, man, I really want to be involved in sports. I really want to coach. And then like another part of it was like, I really want to be the coach that I had for somebody that might need it. Like I freaking needed it, man. Cause I needed a coach growing up bad.
Yeah.
I just did. Right. And I got one, that, you know, that's a couple of them, but I got one in specific that's stepped up. So that kind of led me down the road, man, to coaching. This guy actually hit me up and asked me to coach at Triumph with him. So that was actually my first, like little bit of coaching, man. But being around him, right, and seeing the way he interacted with Steph and the kids that were over there, man, it was enlightening. It was like, all right, this is how you're supposed to treat the kids. You're supposed to build the relationships. This ain't about winning X's and O's and all that. That stuff comes after, you know, after the main part of the relationships and all that's built and the environment's created. He always had a fun environment, man. That was one thing I always like, even when the kids would mess up, right, and it would have to be like, I don't even want to say punishment, but when he would when they'd mess up on something and it would go to that moment, he was still enlightening in those moments to teach, right, and encourage, not just, you know, discipline and beat them down.
Yeah.
So it to me was like a great experience. And to be honest with you, man, I took a few years off. I was working at an auto plant, then decided screw that, man. I was in the parking lot one day and decided, no, I'm coaching again. I quit. Guy called me. I wanted to coach football. Always loved football, man. Grew up going to games and everything else. Just love the sport. But guy called me, Al Demps. Shout out to Coach Demps. He brought me on to Summit Academy. Spent a year there. Spent a little bit of time at Wayne Memorial. 4 years downriver, man, at Romulus, and now I'm back home. So,
Cool.
but yeah, from this area and. Yeah, man. Kind of like our boy Mandela. You know, I feel like I had to. He always says I had to leave to kind of learn some shit to come back to apply it here. And I feel like with coaching and with different things, man, I had to go because if I wouldn't have been at Romulus, none of this shit would be going on.
Right.
To be honest, like, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but like even us in this room, I wouldn't have known how to take things to a different level and be just be different in certain ways, man, that I've learned
to get it.
Had to be around it to get it and understand it, right? And them guys are super awesome.
The level we just talked about.
Yeah, and you don't know what you don't know.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So you stick around some places for too long and you think you kind of got it all figured out, but you have where you're at figured out.
And there's no substitute for experience. Like you just have to go through that shit. There's like you can't go around experience. So for me, it was like had to go down here. And to be honest, man, some of it was just had to go get my butt whooped. Had to go get whooped by some good coaches, some good teams. Had to sit down as a student and listen to the guy we just talked about, Coach Parker, and them guys at Rouge. Like just had to kind of humble and learn so much so that when I came home, and we just talked about this with Josh after, but it's like you got to take different approaches by where you're at in life. My approach then was almost underdogish. Like, all right, I'm trying to learn. And I'm always trying to learn, but now it's almost like we're pressing forward now. We're working, man, and we'll learn more as we go. But the foundation is built, if that makes sense. Now we're moving, man. We're working now. It's way bigger than just learning now and sitting as a student. We're pushing. So bringing that stuff home was big for me because I'm doing more now at home than I've ever done. So it's huge, man.
That is huge, man.
Knowledge is power.
100%, bro. And it was Romulus and you and Demps, man. Them guys were key to that process of learning how to do this thing.
You only coach football or what's up?
So yeah, man. So I try to stay with just football because I'm a year-round coach. Some football coaches will show up in July, August. I'm there year-round. I'm the strength and conditioning coach at Erie Mason. So when we're lifting in the winter, I'm there. When we're lifting in the summer, I'm there. I'm there on spring break next week. Like I'm there 360 days a year, basically, right? Or something. Not maybe that crazy, but you know what I'm saying. I'm there all the time.
You're available.
Yeah, so it's hard for me, but I do strength and conditioning and sports performance training. So one thing I have done is I actually trained the Allen Park volleyball program last year. Shout out to them because they went super far, won districts, competed in regionals. They had a great season, but so I took over their strength and conditioning stuff last year, and that was a good experience. So we'll do some stuff in that area, but I don't coach on a staff anywhere but football. I can't, man. It's
Yeah.
I also, for people that maybe watching that don't know, like I actually coached on the middle school staff, the JV, and the varsity. So, man, it's like three games a
the
week.
whole program.
Three games a week.
a
The
lot.
whole.
Yeah, no, anytime I talk to you, you're coaching.
Yeah,
so,
man,
I'm at work,
it's hard.
I'm
So
coaching.
Commitment. It's a grind.
I try to just stay with that. I might do a little basketball stuff with him if we're doing camps or something, stuff like that. But I try to, even camps, man, I'm trying to bring this guy in to do the basketball stuff so I can work on football. So.
Right. Speaking of the camps, tell me more about that, your vision for going forward.
So we just coach actually hit me up, I believe, was that COVID year? Wasn't that COVID year?
It was.
Coach hit me up in COVID year. We got clearance after all that crazy stuff, man, to do some stuff. And we did something down at Hellenberg Park. And from there, it just became an idea of like wanting to do something every year where we at least offer. I like to do things multiple times a year where we offer things to the kids for free, just because I do the training, the sports performance classes, and the individual training I do. It's cost friendly, but it does cost. But I also like to make sure, with that being said, there's opportunities for kids, man, to show up and do stuff for free so that nobody can ever come to me and be like, Coach, I just can't afford it. My kid can't work with you. Well, if I line up 6 camps, 7 camps a year, there's still opportunities for your kids to work with me. So everybody somehow can get some work in. So, but it's just basic work, man, for the young guys, basic fundamental movements, basic strength and conditioning movements. We're not doing nothing crazy with the young guys. I'll have a couple coaches with the young group, and then I'll be with the older group with maybe one other coach. Because why coach has a pretty wide range. Most of what I've done is with the older kids. To be honest, bro, most of my stuff's been high school. But middle school coaching last year and youth camp last year gave me a little experience. But I know, and I mean this like full total respect, but I know this guy is he's very good at coaching. I'm sure he's great at coaching JV too, so don't get me wrong, but he's very good at coaching the youth, bro. Like very good. He's a very good youth coach. So just getting good people in there. I got a couple guest speakers coming in Saturday and Sunday. I don't want to say who yet, but we got a couple people coming in to talk to the kids. I always try to line that up. So, it'll be.
Spoiler alert. I know who it is. I'm about to say it. I don't know who it is.
But yeah, man, we'll have one in July. I don't know the date yet, but first one's in May, and then we're going to run it back in July. So
beautiful.
Yeah, man, just trying to do something for the community, offer it for free. So
what about kicking it with the coaches? Tell me about that.
So man, it's these guys. Shout out to y'all. Y'all put it together for us. And honestly, man, it was what I wanted to do. Because I don't want to speak on coach's behalf when he answers this, but what I wanted to do when we talked about this was kind of bring like a podcast to people that they could listen to that was a little more unorthodox, kind of uncut, raw, real, a little less of the ESPN shit, a little more of like, let's talk about the sticky topics. Let's talk about the things that people really want to hear conversations about, the uncomfortable stuff in sports, or the, how can we fix things? How can we do this instead of, LeBron, and no disrespect to LeBron, my man, but LeBron scored 30 last night. How you feel, coach? Like, ain't nobody, man, that's on 100 different stations.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring people in, different guests in the community, out of the community, student athletes, coaches, trainers, and just kind of pick their story apart, pick their brain apart, and get into some different topics, man, that really make them think and converse with us and stay away from the ESPN headline type of stuff. So
yeah,
that's kind of my vision for it. Excited that coach decided to come on with us, man. That had me pumped. So yeah, we've had, I think, 4 or 5 people on so far. I think 5. But it's been great guests. Coach Jones was our first guest, so he kicked the show off with us. But yeah, man, it's been fun.
Yeah,
I mean, he hit me up with the vision right before the first show. He told me basically what he just told you guys about what his vision was, what he thought, and it was just kicking it with Coach K. So, I was honored to be the first guest. Went well afterward. I mean, because we're comfortable with each other, so we know we can talk. You can ask me anything. There's nothing that's really off subject when you know the person personally.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Then after the show, I was like, oh man, that was good, that was great. And then somebody off your crew, I can't remember who it was, like, man, you should just be the co-host.
I think it was this
It was
guy.
me.
Yeah, it was this
So
guy.
we both were like, I'm like, hey, it's your show, man. I'm not gonna, he's like, yeah, no, that'd be great. So that's kind of how it was born. But I got the same vision. You know what I mean? Everybody can turn on sports radio and hear highlights or the more national headline debates. I mean, let's really get down to it. We coach in this community, so let's talk about this community a little bit more.
I love that.
Kind of give recognition to some of the guys who came through here, give recognition to the people who are trying to come up and people who are doing things and kind of pushing us in the right direction, pushing youth in the right direction.
Yeah.
And we want to talk to everybody. So
Yeah,
everybody out there
already
watching,
a great set of guests. Yeah.
you know,
We doing. We're trying to grow it, man.
here,
Yeah, trying to grow it.
you know, and not always big names. Not
Yep.
it might not be the person. There's so many people behind the scenes making things happen where nobody knows their name.
Well, yeah, it's the
100%.
same thing for Pillar Talk.
You
We do
know,
the same
what I
thing.
mean? So
I get it.
just and picking people, like I love picking people's brain, like especially people who are interested in doing kind of some of the same things I am. Like,
Yep.
what's your vision? Why do you think that? What direction are you heading in? Kind of open my eyes sometimes. Like, that's dope. That's a good idea. I want to go.
100%.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
gonna tag along with you. Let's do it.
And we were talking before. I think it's like it just opens the perspective to different coaches and kids, right? Coach might have a different philosophy than me. We sit down, we talk about it on here, let them decide, you know, what they want to take from it. And maybe they like stuff from both philosophies, right? Maybe they like his, whatever it is, but they win in the end. People who get to choose between these two different, you know, conversations going on or hearing the stuff Bronco's saying, right? When he's talking about his story of triumph and the things he believed in. Now you have somebody at home. You know, Gabe and I followed up last week talking about like, what are you doing in the hours that you're not training? That was something Bronco was big on. And I think just to give people a voice, but more importantly, even to let the people hearing be impacted by it and learn from those people that are on talking.
Right.
And I think, man, like one of my goals when I came home was I wanted to improve our county sports in our county. And I've talked about in the past how Level Up helps do that. Go, obviously they're big time in that. Go Mad does a little bit of stuff, that sports performance training. There's some different things going, but we still could use a little more, in my opinion, right? We have a lot in this county still, if you really think about it, man. There's still a ton of little cities in here in towns and different things, and we can do more, in my opinion. So one thing with the show, I think, is like you bring a student athlete on here, for example, and you let them talk. It's the day and age of media. Some coaches see that. I think it helps kids kind of get their face and recognition out there. Maybe they're trying to get recruited, or maybe they're trying to get a better offer.
That's good.
And I think having them
feels
on,
good.
yeah. Or I think, you know, we have a kid like Gabe on last week, and some young kid watches the show, right, and goes, "Dang, man, I want to be in his spot." Or, you know, some guy boxing looks at Broncos, you know, and says, "Damn, that's me."
Yeah.
You know, so that stuff's. The show's super fun, man. No, I've had a blast so far.
It's been a blast.
Good,
Definitely.
man.
We got a good show Sunday, man, and we got quite some good guests lined up. So
can we get a little sneak peek at any of the guests you got lined up? We got anything special coming or what?
So I'll give you, I can tell y'all a few. We got so this week, and I hope I don't say her name wrong, but I believe it's Shay Small. She's the JV girls coach at Monroe. It's her first year, so we're gonna pick her brain apart about how it was to be a first-year coach and some different things.
Cool.
We got the Champ D Mills coming on in a few weeks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Champ, baby.
The Champ D Mills he's going to come on. We got Poe finally, Coach Poe. Shout out to Coach because I know he watches from Concordia. So football coach. He'll be our first collegiate football coach to come on the show. So yeah, man, we got some really good ones. Jarvis Mitchell, who's the Wayne Memorial girls basketball coach. He's one of the most respected, I would say, well-known basketball coaches in the state as far as girls basketball goes. Got players all over the place, man, and all types of hardware.
Special stuff coming up,
man. And then that's not even a quarter of it. I mean, there's guests all throughout, but that's just a few coming up soon. And then we actually have, you know what, we might as well talk about it, but we're going to be doing some sponsorship stuff with All Heart Athletics. So that's fun stuff. They're going to be, I don't want to give all the details out yet because we're still finalizing some things, but yeah, they're going to be helping out the show, man, in a big way. So some fun stuff.
Shout out to our All Heart Athletics.
Yep, 100%. Shout out.
Everybody knows that's the old Rick Sports.
Yeah, make sure y'all stop in there too, because I just went in there and got. I went in there to talk and ended up leaving with a couple hoodies, a hat. I ended up a beanie. I'm like, oh, this Mason gear. All right, man. So they hooked me up, man. So it was a good trip. But
that's cool.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Yeah, man. That's a lot of stuff you got going on, Coach. You gotta
Busy,
stay
man.
busy, don't you?
Busy, inspired by the people we're impacting and by the people around us, bro,
Mhm.
that stay busy. So impacted by y'all and the kids. So that's why we ain't no time to stop. We were just talking about it before the show.
No.
And when you do start to get slow, you just line more stuff up, right?
That's
You just
beautiful.
keep going.
Every year I say I'm gonna cut back or I'm gonna do less. Or I'm gonna give something up. And what ends up happening is I start something else. Like I end up adding something instead of taking away
100%.
something. So every year I kind of get busier as it goes. And like I don't even realize until I like sit down one night. You just sit down and you'll be like, all right, so what I gotta do tomorrow?
This.
Like I got this practice, I got this training, I got leave work at this time, I got to be there by this time.
I live and die by the calendar, so I get you.
Man. My wife, when I took the 8th grade or the middle school job, she had to ask me, she's like, you gonna keep this job like long term? I'm like, to the kids watching it, because my middle school kids do tune in. Don't take offense to this, fellas. Y'all know I love y'all boys. But for a minute there, man, I was honestly like, probably not. I'm gonna give them a season. I'm gonna get them through the season because their coach had left suddenly. Right before the season, like I'm talking a week before the first game. So they're like, we're gonna shut down. I'm like, dang, man, we gotta have a team. So, man, we go through the first few practices. It's rough, bro. Rough, real rough. And I'm like, I'm going gray a few more. I'm getting bald. I'm like, man, this middle school stuff, I don't know, man. And then I don't know what it was, bro, but just kept going with it. A few weeks later, I was all in, and now these dudes are lifting weights in the off season, man. I got events planned for them too, to do stuff, to go out as a team. We're talking middle school program, man.
But their hunger
100%
is like fueling you, right? So like,
yep, 100%.
You get 1 or 2 kids who just want to do it. You're like, oh, man, I wasn't gonna coach next year, but they work so hard, man. They came so far. Like I can't quit on them now.
So now
then you
I'm
end
in
up
that
with these kids from 7th grade all the way till they graduate. And then, like I'm just coaching they graduate. Then they graduate, and you found another kid.
Yep, that's awesome
to follow. Like,
and it just never stops.
It never stops, man.
Nope. So I'm going back, man. I'm ready. And I told these dudes, so we had a bad year. We went 0-6, but a lot of them are coming back. So I told them, like, oh, we owe somebody some payment this year, or somebody owes us, like we owe.
They're not going to realize that 0-6 is going to be, that was their best season.
I told them, I said, y'all are going to be a lot of first-year football players too.
That's why it was their best
I told them, y'all going to go through your lumps, but next year, and now I'm in the weight room telling them we are weeks away, man, months away, weeks away, however you want to look at it, but you're going to get your payback this year. We're going to get ours back for sure. You got to go through them lumps, bro.
Yeah.
But I've never, and he hasn't either, and that's what I love. I've never ran to a school where I'm chasing a championship, bro, or a win. Like I'll embrace that grind from the ground up. I don't 0-6 is whatever.
Yeah.
It's we gonna lose games. We're gonna lose things in life too. I just, we're homies, man. We know each other's business. I just wrecked my car last week. That's a bigger loss than some L on the scoreboard.
Grind is why you do it. You know what I mean? Like 100%. I don't want it. Like if it's easy, it's like playing a video game. Like you playing no easy, it ain't no
right. Yep.
Ain't no fun.
That's why it's always been rebuilds, man. I don't know why, but I've always been in a kind of a rebuild situation.
Development.
And now at Mason, I'm trying to stay because it's home, right? I'm not necessarily rebuild. Now I'm trying to screw the rebuild. We're trying to win some damn things now, but hey man, look. Hey, I love we're coaches, man. I love the kids, but at the same time, it's no secret. We need some W's with that shit, man. You know what I mean? We need to win some games at some point. That's just, but that's with culture. That all comes right with relationships and culture. The wins just start eventually.
And they don't know what they don't know. Like I said before, so the kids, they probably didn't know how to win. 100%. They're learning how to win now. Once you learn how to win, it gets a little bit easier. It gets a little more fun.
I agree with that too.
You get a lot more buy-in.
You don't know what
you got to get one too, man. You got to.
I know everything, but you hadn't learned that yet, so you didn't know that.
Yeah, and in sports, it's a crazy thing, bro. But you got to get one. And I'm not like in his example. Say for example, they're trying to take the next step in their program. To me, their get one would be like, let's split with Romulus next season. Like, we got so for us being 0-6 last year in the middle school, at least, I just want them to get one. Just go get one early so you know what it feels like. Because once you feel winning, bro, it's a different Even in life, it's a different vibe when you start winning.
And they know how you got it from the work you put in. So
Yeah.
now in their mind, it clicks like, okay, I work hard,
and I
I'm
got this.
I'm more likely to get a win.
And that's how it starts
then
rolling.
That's where the craze starts right there.
Yeah.
And you can watch it as a coach because he did all last year 0-6, right? So he's watched them slowly start turning the corner, going in the right direction. Nobody else they don't even know. Like they don't even know they're getting better.
They just think it's loss after loss after loss. They're getting more competitive every single week. You watch
them get that first win.
Coach stuff,
you watch them get that first win. It's like,
deep.
That's cool.
Chills.
It's deep.
Chills.
The crazy part is, man, losing and winning is like that's not near none of it, bro. The conversations you have after games, before games, practice, man, it's not. Bro, when I hardly, like, it's crazy to me. I get upset at losing just because I'm a competitor, but like, man, I try not to show it to the kids, nothing, bro. I try my damnedest to just be like, hey, man, we're family at the end of the day. We got to go to work. Guess what? We got practice tomorrow, win or lose. So what are we going to do? We're going to cry and make practice real garbage tomorrow, or are we going to show up and make this shit better? You only got two choices, my man.
No kid wants to lose, so I get
it. Tell me this. So are you more mad that you just lost, or does how you lost affect that? You get what I'm saying?
Oh man.
So it's like you.
I think
you
how
lose
I
to
lose.
A team that
how
like,
I lose.
So like you lose a game by, I'm gonna use basketball actually. You lose a game by 3 points, right? You go 5 for 15 from the free throw line. 2 for 13 from 3.
I'm pissed.
18 turnovers.
I'm hot.
Right. And you lose by 3 points.
I'm mad, bro.
Right? So it's like,
I'm mad. Too many opportunities. I'm mad.
Gone. My hair's gone.
Yeah.
Those are the things you harp on in practice all week, guys.
Yeah.
Shoot free throws.
Yeah.
The guys protect the ball, and then you get in the game, and they
do
some
threes and messing up.
I will say,
and then I'm like, so who's the better team? Like, you guys.
Right. A loss does hurt way worse when you beat yourself versus when.
Man.
Because like we just talked about him earlier when we went and played Rouge at Romulus, right?
That's right. Whoop your ass. It's one
hey, man, we knew it. I told the kids on the bus, we knew it. I said, y'all going to the dog pound today because they don't play games over here. And I'm telling y'all, they will beat your ass if you don't go out here and give it everything and compete. Like, they are that type of squad. But you got to put kids in those competitive environments. You have to, man. They got to, like he said, they got to learn. They got to go through that fire, that competition. And they learn. But flat out, they learn. I love them boys. Y'all know I love y'all. But
imagine taking
they learn.
To Rouge.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a different game.
That might be demoralizing.
It is.
Sometimes.
You do got to be careful, right? It's like AABB, that kind of thing.
The divisions?
Yeah. Is there a difference between just that?
Rouge, I believe, is like Division 2 or 3, I believe.
And then
so one being the highest.
Like Erie,
so I think this year we're going to be 6 because it goes by school size, right?
Okay.
So we got, I don't even know how many kids in our school, 800, 750
I knew it was
or
some way
something.
to,
I know there's classes, so they're called classes, but like, I don't know who's in what class. I couldn't.
But then I think,
who's the best
them and Romulus.
right now. I mean, if you just had to spit out, I'm not saying your opinion, but like ranked right now.
We talking about football?
Top school for you, yeah, football. Just like curiosity in our.
I mean, man,
general area.
I mean, in our community.
Not necessarily even our community. We got to put.
Because you already know I was about to say Erie Mason.
Yeah, but I'm talking stats. Across the board.
Don't just be saying stuff.
Downriver.
I'm just playing. No, if I'm being that's the problem, man. I
don't mean who's as far as you're the best or any of that. I mean, like, stats wise, who's got it right now? Who's been?
I mean, stable programs, man.
That's just national stuff.
I mean, I look at teams like I look at Rouge. Obviously, they've been there every year.
Okay, see, so
it was Belleville for a handful of years. Belleville's always great, man. In our area, it's Riverview is pretty damn good.
Okay, I remember hearing about Riverview. Now Josh was doing the Jefferson coaching too.
Helping
out there with Jefferson with Josh and whatnot.
Whiteford just won the state title last year. So Whiteford's pretty good, man. So honestly, man, there's good football in Michigan. It's kind of slept on, to be honest with you. I mean, Cass Tech is pretty good every year. Detroit Central is pretty good. And I just seen all these guys up at Eastern on Friday, all these coaching staffs, like they're all invested, man. We all go to the same clinics, same events, same camps.
Yeah. Every year.
See each other, shake each other's hands, man, eat dinner together at this stuff every single event. So But yeah, man, those
Digging
are
into
the.
that a little further, if you don't mind. Why do you think that's different? I think I know the answer to that, but I'm curious. What do you say as far as a community like Monroe, smaller, but then you go somewhere like River Rouge or Detroit? Is it because they think that's is that all they got? Is that type of thing? Is
I
it
think that's
a
a
tougher
lot of
place
it.
to live? I know
Yeah,
that.
I
I
think
mean, let's
that's a
be
lot
real.
of it.
I'm just curious if we can't get into this
Yeah.
and you don't want to dig into this too much. I get it, but
No, you're good, man.
I just want.
I like.
I'm
That's
curious.
a good question. That's
Yeah.
a good question.
I think it's a lot of things, man. To be honest, I think like there's more. Well, there's more kids if you look at like a downriver, right? There's more. There's gonna be more kids at Taylor. There's gonna be more kids at Rouge. More kids at Romulus, Wayne.
Breeds
All these
competition.
different schools, which breeds more athletes, more competition. So I think that's a big
From a
part of
younger
it
age.
from a younger age, especially. And a lot of them got good youth programs,
And I was gonna
especially
say
in football.
it's got to help that
So
they're going
that
every year to
helps.
states.
But
Everybody
if they
knows.
got that many kids up there, like they have a multiple rec centers, multiple
Right.
community
But
centers.
I was just about to say, tell me
Yeah.
before a level up, like on his jacket, tell me before a level up though, like what was there to do for the kids to get work in? Like where were they? There's like he just said, there's a rec center or a training on
Here,
complex.
I think it was just like the YMCA, which costs. So
That's
again,
it.
if you're in a low income family, like the cost adds up. You might be able to go every now and then,
Yeah.
but you can't just drop in every day
Yeah.
and play.
Yeah, that's what a $10 guest pass or $12 guest pass it used to be. Yeah, man. I mean, you try to pay that every day, and then like he said, you can't always afford the monthly back. And even the YMCA did like classes, but there was no like, there's no developmental stuff,
No,
athletic
it was like
training,
volunteer coaches and stuff.
right?
But
And that's what you get at Level Up, and that's what you get with myself, and that's what you get with I believe his name is James, the guy over at GoMad. Is you get more, and we all do different stuff respectively, right? But you get more of that approach to developing athletes and developing kind of those developments, man, than I think Monroe's ever had, and I think that's part of it. Plus, this is just my opinion on the football side. He can speak for basketball, but man, and I don't even care if I rub some people wrong. Let me just say it. They're boring as hell around here in football, bro. It's boring football. And like, shout out to Coach Bowers, my head coach.
Boring how?
It's old.
Attendance
It's old style football, man. It's old running power game. It's not fun and flat. Like the game has moved into such a spread the field, fast game, athletic. You want to put your athletes in space and let them move. And it's so just pile everything up here still and old school power. And it's just like, man, that stuff to me is it's just my style of coaching, bro. I don't like it personally. I want athletes all over the field. I want to move my athlete at 3 different places and have him go nuts on players.
So there's the answer to your question, right? So he came where he go develop his football at his coaching.
So there's a difference, right?
He went downriver where there's more athletes and they play. You know what I mean? They can play a more open style. It's not that they can't down here, but
facts. And
they try to maximize what they feel like their talent is, not realizing they're kind of holding kids back sometimes by not just letting them out.
Gotta let your athletes play, bro. But to piggyback off of them, like Erie Mason is like, yeah, it's where I went to school and everything, but it's also like we don't do that there. Like we throw the football, we spread teams out, we run fast, we move the ball quickly. Like we're explosive. That's what we do. And that's why it was like all my kids from Romulus had started to graduate and go to college and do different things. And that job was perfect. Come home. Now I got the knowledge. Erie Mason's open. I can do what we both want to do at Mason. Me and head coach don't argue about nothing, bro. Never once had any. I'll be real. We never once have a disagreement. It's, he comes, says, this is what I'm doing with the program or this. I go to him, say the same thing. And like we just do it, and that's it. It just gets done, and we just kind of put our minds together and let it ride. But
that's good. That's important.
Yeah, man. So that's a big part of it. Fun. I think the football needs to get more fun. Plus, I think it's the branding. I think and I hate to say this in a cocky way, but like I think right now we're becoming the best program in the county as far as branding our football program. I actually firmly believe that, and that's shout out to like Spooky and BrainJerk Entertainment, some of the people that have come to help us. You guys are the reason, man. Like it's y'all that have helped us. But I think
shout out to the MCSN. I know that they're doing their thing, and that's really changed
flat out
how Monroe
shout out to them
at sports. So
I got to give them definitely a shout out special because they've been to several Erie Mason events. So and they're coming to, like I said, Eagle
Pudding,
Day,
man. These guys are showing up. So
definitely
man. Shout out to the Dev Group and Spooky
definitely.
And everything those guys are doing because we love those guys.
We got to get Dev on the show.
Yeah.
No.
We could for sure.
What up, Dev? I know you're watching, man.
He's in Egypt.
Is he right
Is
now?
he really?
Doing a pilgrimage for his
Wow.
Wow, that's dope.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Crazy. Shout out.
I grew up,
Dev.
actually grew up with Dev over at the YMCA,
My
man.
guy.
I used to see Dev there quite a bit.
He worked there, I think, for a while, but I used to go in there and play ball with him.
I mean, I never knew what Dev was doing. You know, sometimes
Doing everything.
Play, sometimes he'd be walking by. You never really
doing
knew.
everything.
Like, you never knew what he was there for. I should say. Like, you don't know. Like, did he come to play basketball? Or did
he just
walk
get
past
this
the gym
pickup
and see
game
people
real
in there?
quick.
Always been a cool dude, man.
Yeah, Dev's awesome, man.
Always been a cool dude.
But
How
yeah,
we meet? Did we meet at the Y?
Bro, I was wondering about that today because I didn't know if he was going to ask that. And I'm like, I can't remember. I know we worked at Lids together.
That was after we already knew each other, though. We had a near-death experience driving the Lids one time, too.
Man, about died together, bro. On the way to Lids in Toledo. We worked out there together.
Yeah. He hired me. He was the manager. He hired me for seasonal work.
Guy hit me up like, can you get a job?
Awesome.
I said, man, when can you come sign this paperwork? Can you
Come
today?
Yeah,
we was riding together, man, spun out and everything.
On sale,
Crazy.
475 on
Yeah.
C-Core.
Damn.
Out
It was a
Toledo.
blizzard. I don't know why we were going to
Going to Lids.
It was a legit blizzard.
It was bad, bro.
So I'm driving, like, I don't know, must have hit black ice and the car just started spinning.
Shoot.
Spun. We was facing the opposite direction.
It was crazy.
Look
man.
at it. We looked at him. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just turn around. Got off on the next exit. I was like, yeah, I gotta get off the highway.
It's crazy.
We both got
so
the
that
Lids,
job
like,
ended
damn.
up turning to me. I became a manager at Lids.
Oh, guess what? I see Devin Rucker is watching.
That's
See?
crazy.
That
What
dude
up, Dev?
tuned in
What up,
right
Dev?
now, so yeah.
Somebody probably told me, hey, they talk about you on the show.
You know, that was one of the funnest jobs I ever had, though, bro. That was a fun job. Lids was a blast.
It wasn't like
man.
work.
It was
like work.
Man.
Remember Lee?
Lee was that dude, man.
Lee.
Hey, he now I know he ain't watching, but hey, man, if y'all wanna talk about a real one, guy in Toledo by the name of Lee. I don't know what he's doing these days, but find him, figure it out, because I know whatever he's doing, he's a beast at it. Two was the man, bro. I used to go,
everything.
I used to go to this man, bro, with 30 orders, because I used to sell embroidery. I ain't gonna lie, I was good at it, man.
Embroidery
I used to sell that shit off the hook, and I'm like, I got like 20 embroideries for you, bro. Man, this dude would have them just cranked. I couldn't use the machine.
He'd be on his phone.
Figure it out.
He'd be on his phone, like
right.
on his phone doing it.
Setting it up.
I'm messing the whole machine up, bro. Pissed.
Lee was a dog.
He was, man. Him and Herb. I still talk to Herb.
I hired Herb when I became manager there.
As a manager?
As an assistant manager.
Herb was good people. Hey,
Yeah,
if
Herb
now
was
he
good.
might watch sometime. If he does watch, shout out to
I think I
Herb,
still
because
got
that
his
was my
number. I'm
guy,
hitting him
man.
up. I'm hitting him up.
He
I
was
tried to
good
get you to
people.
come back, remember?
So on some real shit, man. Remember the storage unit
Yes.
that they had?
Yes.
Herb used to come in after hours. This dude, man, you talk about a grind. I wanted the store, bro. They had me at an interim store manager role, and I wanted that. And I used to be doing all types of crazy shit for them, behind hours, not getting paid to clean the store, all types of stuff. This guy used to call me up like, can't get up out of the house till 10 o'clock, but we'll go to the storage unit and clean it. Man, we were in there working 2-3 hours, no pay. This dude, Herb, used to come up and help me, man. One of the realest dudes I've ever met. And when I asked him why, this dude just used to be like, I want you to get the store, bro. I'm like, that's a real dude, man. When you just really want to see somebody else do good and see the people around you do well, that's when real recognized real. That's a good guy, man.
Yeah,
man. I
brought him back.
At times I miss that job. For real. I'm like, let me get a quick Lids. Let me get a quick 8 hours a week, bro.
That's why y'all know each other so well. You know each other pretty well, so click well and do well.
We worked that.
I mean, we hooped together.
I used to hate
together.
hooping against him. I don't like hooping against him.
I mean,
Not one bit.
Them days is over, but
Not one bit.
Okay.
I used to want to be on his team, and if I wasn't, I'm not guarding him, man, because I'm not doing it. This guy gonna shoot something from some just ridiculous range, and I can't come out on him, because if I do, he gonna drive past me, because he was a little quicker than me. I'll be honest. But if I do come up, he gonna.
I mean, you gotta strap yourself though.
I tried, man.
I'm not leaving you open.
I tried, man. I was all right. What's up, though? You sound like you got something on your mind.
Plug them socials. Let's do that before I forget. I'm terrible.
Yeah, man. So
let me do mine first.
Where can I reach you?
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you want to?
I'm just at HJones329 on Instagram. That's all I got.
That's all he's got.
That's it.
Now, Coach K, on the other hand,
HJones329.
listen, Facebook and Instagram, go follow Kennedy Health and Wellness. Hit my wife up for all your body care, candle needs. We got spa kits, all types of stuff. Go hit her up. You can find that. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Go follow Big Back Prep. It's football training we started. We're also doing that with 1817 CrossFit on Saturdays. That's just for running backs and linebackers. But make sure you guys go follow that page. And then Coach K 1993 is my Instagram for all my sports and training and the podcast. So, but if you guys are interested, we're back Monday on Kicking It with the Coaches. Make sure you guys tune in for that too. So
tune in for that. Saturday, we've got a comedy show, guys. Don't forget. Tickets are almost sold out at the FOP. That's it, Far. That's all I got.
Hey, can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, make sure y'all go because I'm gonna give y'all some free game right now. I have not seen the couple of the guys in the poster, but Cam, and if he listens, because he's on my Facebook and yours, so you never know. But Cam is funny as can be, man,
Yeah.
and he is awesome. That's gonna be a great headliner. Make sure y'all come out and hang out with us on Saturday.
Gonna be a fire show, man. You know, BrainJerk does it different than everybody else. We try to make it an experience. So
Definitely
got tons of surprises in store, and just really the way we run things, I think, is superior to what people have no idea. This is what we do.
I agree, man.
If it's not live shows, it's events, live events.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's it, man. Till the talk.
I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching. That's it.